Okay, sorry about that, guys. This is going to be a second version of What If issei was a kryptonen part 4. We left off where she says, blah blah blah, they defeated her lock, but issei did not want to pry into it. Even though he was curious, he did not want to evade her privacy by anything like that. But he was still very curious about it. But he would let it go. They brought her to the church and let her go. But Izzy was feeling very weirded out being near the church. Issei noticed that, and they decided to go back to the school, the club room, and Ria starts walking up to Izzy and is about to slap her. But Issei grabs it and bends her wrist back. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And Issei says, "I could say the same thing. You're about to hit my sister." And Ria says she has to be punished. She cannot just go near a church and help one of our enemies. Issei looks at her and says, "What do you mean, my enemies?" And she says, "The nuns and anyone from the church is the devil's enemies. Holy energy can harm us very easily, more than anything that could. One thing of holy light could easily kill one of us. Strong enough blast could easily kill one of us, even if it doesn't kill, it would hurt like hell." And he says, "Lets her go." And he says, "That still doesn't give you the right to hit someone that was unknowing." And what do you mean by enemy? We did not hang out with anyone that was threatening. And she says, "That nun girl, she's part of the church, so that would make her one of our enemies." Issei looks at her with a disgusted face and says, "That is an innocent girl who just works for the church and believes in God. This gives everyone a slight head ache, like a little thing to the head." And she says, "Can you not say that word?" And he says, "What, God?" And happens again, and Izzy says, "Can you stop?" And he doesn't say it again. But he looks at Rivers and says, "If you try to land a hand on her, I will break every bone in your body." Now, like they say, this Issei is sounding like a villain in this, but he's very protective over the people he loves. But he's also still kind-hearted. He won't go through with the threat, but he'll make sure she'll not harm her. But in Reese's mind, she knows he's bluffing. Because she can look at his face and see he's not a very violent person. Even while provoked, he will not go full strength on you. But she does not know that he can only be maybe 10% and probably kick everyone's ass. Kryptonen is very strong in this dimension. Very fierce. Ooh, who cares? Back to the story. Issei and Izzy get called to a client. They walk in the house and Izzy says, "You know I can protect myself now. My secret gear has activated." And Issei and her have a flashback where they were riding on Issei's bike and she's holding on to him from the back. But a fallen angel comes in and the light spear at them. Issei was able to dodge it on his bike and slow them down before they crashed. And they look at her and she says, "Rainier? No. The one with blue hair and the weird red dress. Forgot her fucking name. I don't feel like remembering it. So fuck off about that. I'm gonna call her Blueberry Hair because she's not gonna be in the store for very long." And she looks at Issei and says, "So you're the one who defeated Rainier." And Issei looks at her and says, "Who the fuck is Rainier?" And she says, "Oh wait, she went by the name Yuma." This gets Izzy a little bit of shock. And she says, "How do you know that name?" And she Because I'm one of her comrades, and I'm here to clean up her mess, to kill you two. But something happened to Izzy's arm. Her secret gear activated. And you know what happened in the anime, what issei did in the anime, same thing happened. If you didn't watch the anime, I recommend you watch it. I hate people who listen to these stories and don't actually watch the fucking anime. Back to the story. Flashback in. They're walking back into the house. And issei sees blood with his night vision. He whispers, he grabs Izzy's mouth, pushes her back. She is blushing right now, and he whispers in her ear, says, "Something happened here. Be careful." She shakes her head while still blushing. He lets her go, but she puts her hands on her chest and starts squealing a little bit. He hears it, but does not pay it any mind. He keeps going, and shit. Buck nuggets. What's Freed? Yeah, that's the fucker's name. Izzy walks into the room where Freed is, and she sees a dead body, and Freed looks over from the couch and says, "Ooh, devil scum." And she's not that bad looking. He licks his lips and starts walking at me. He says, "I am Freed, a crazy priestess, to kill devil scum." I forgot his speech in the anime. Go fuck yourself. I don't want to hear anything in the comments. He gets his sword activated, his bootleg lightsaber, literally. And his gun shoots her in the leg and slashes her, and she screams. This issei heard this and ran to her, breaking through walls right when he's about to stab her. Before issei could get there, they heard a scream. It was Asya, and she says, "What are you doing?" And Freed looks over and says, "I'm killing devil scum," and runs over there and blocks the attack. Not really blunt, he's got in the way of it. And he says, "What the fuck are you doing?" He says, "She can be saved," or whatever the bullshit's at. He pulls her and says, "Oh, violate her, probably." Cuts her clothes off, grabs her hands, pushes her against the wall, and uses his sword to hold her arms up. And gets his gun, and I'm not sure if he's trying to do a weird sexual thing, but pushing that in there seems like really unnecessary. I know he's fucking crazy, but still. Like, God's sake, have some fucking courtesy, even if you're insane. Or a pedo. Probably a pedo. Not my problem. Before he could really do anything, issei ran in there and punched his ass to the wall. He's only using at least 1% on his ass. Only enough to knock his ass back. His jaw is broken right now. So, fuck off. Then Reese and her group comes in, being late as fucking usual, and sees the mess. They grab Kiba helps up Izzy, and Akito says, "Fallen angels are incoming." And Reese says, "We need to get out of here." And looks over to issei, and she smiles and teleports away. But Izzy says, "No, we need to get them." And Reese says, "I cannot transfer people that are not part of my peerage," and teleports away with a little smile. Issei looks over to Asya and says, "You need to get out of here." And he says, "Not without you." And she says, "I'll be fine. They can't really do much to me right now." Looks at her suspicious and says, "Still, I'm not gonna leave you here with these fuckers." He picks her up, ballerina style, gets her he jumps out of the roof, through the house. The fallen angels see this, but they think it's just a devil running away. They go in the house and searching for an Rainier says, God fucking damn it. So I'm gonna end it here. Okay? Okay.